YouTube, Tire Metalhead Weatherman. This is going to be a super quick video because I got to get going right now. But we already know the deal with the enhanced risk for today, so we're just going to go ahead and really get into things here. We already know nothing's really changed with the areas since the video I made last night. Been actually a little bit of a trend more so towards the south, just slightly. But a lot of the same areas are still in effect here. Slight risk has not changed. And the threat and the level of hazard type threat levels has not changed. Tornado threat's still at 5%, no 10% as of right now. The only hazard type that has sort of trended northward is the hail, and it's still only one with a significant risk attached to it. We look at the parameters here. The Cape is still very much explosive over this region. Still seeing 2,000 plus joules per kilogram. The soundings still kind of lean more so towards a marginal tornado threat, but I really think that we won't see too many tornadoes out of this setup here. We'll of course have to watch and see how things evolve during the day, but the most impressive parameter that I've seen so far has more so been the lapse rates. You can already see them in abundance early in the morning. By the time we get to about 20, 21Z, or really 17Z, getting 8.3 degrees Celsius, you really look for about a 6 or a 7 to have impressive lapse rates. The brighter the color, of course, the more impressive the lapse rate here. And in an area where you're expecting severe storms, this can end up being very conducive to both hail and tornadoes, depending on other parameters. Given the convection that we have in the atmosphere, along with I would say the temperature contrast here, we're definitely leaning more so towards hail on this one. Not to say that there isn't a tornado threat at all. As mentioned with the Storm Prediction Center, there is one. And the bulk shear is a great example of that. The bulk shear is pretty strong right along the front. We do see some bulk shear from 0 to 6 kilometers in the atmosphere. So that's about, I would say, 15,000 feet all the way to the surface. We're still getting about 60, 70 knots in a lot of regions. Some areas getting up higher than that, but this area isn't so much in the severe weather threat here. It's this area that I'm more concerned with, and we're still getting to 60 and 70 around Oklahoma. And this eventually is going to push its way east, thus allowing for more favorable conditions for damaging winds and tornadoes to exist. So that being said, we already have a pretty good idea of what's going on here. So the main thing to look at is going to be the storm mode, and we pretty much have a good idea there. Well, the storm's forming along the front. It's usually a dead giveaway at this juncture. We're going to most likely be seeing a line of storms. My phone's still glitching out, my old one, so if you hear my alarm, I apologize. I've been trying to figure out how to turn the thing off for the last couple of days. It's been driving me nuts, honestly. But that being said, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up here. So here is the storms beginning to develop in the early afternoon. Couple of supercells try to develop, but this quickly, and I mean quickly, develops into a line. Few cells to the south we'll have to watch for being discrete, but we're leaning, like I said, we're leaning more so towards a hail threat, wind threat. I think tornado threat exists early on in the day. And really the HRRR just doesn't really have these storms getting their act together fast enough to really take advantage of that environment. Storms get a little bit more impressive as we head into the evening hours here. And then after that, we'll probably start to see this intensity begin to diminish as we've lost the daytime heating. So that being said, plenty ongoing today on the severe side of things. We'll also have to watch the wintry side unfold. I'll probably be discussing that when I get home tonight. And then we'll just kind of go from there, and then we'll talk about Friday too. So that being said, that's the end of this video. If found it useful, you enjoyed it, you already know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Share this video to anyone that may be in these areas. And then, of course, let me know in the comments what you could be experiencing should you be happening to encounter these storms. But anyway, this has been Tyler Metalhead Weatherman. I got to get the heck out of here, and I will see you soon.